So I just spent $30,000 on Iman Gadzhi's new program Monetize, which is $2,000 USD, but because I'm in Australia, unfortunately it's $3,000. And I bought his program not because I actually needed it or wanted it. I actually bought it just to make this video. I wanted us to all get a better understanding on how Iman Gadzhi has had such success selling digital products and how he has scaled to multi-millions of dollars through his offerings. And honestly, the best way to understand this, the whole picture, is by actually going through his funnel and actually becoming a customer to actually experience what's inside one of his digital products. So what I'm going to do is actually break down in detail Iman Gadzhi's monetize strategy from awareness to the funnels that the customer goes through to then the conversion process and then the whole experience once they're actually inside and the upsells that Iman actually throws at you to maximize the revenue of monetize. So let's actually go through it. Okay, so here I have the meal board where I actually break it down in detail. So let's just go through a quick overview of Monetize itself. So we all know Iman has like this massive personal brand and he's known as like the course, sell, guru, final boss, whatever people call him these days. Question is, wouldn't you think it makes sense for him to sell a digital product, helping people do the thing that he has mastered, which is selling digital products, the thing that he's most known for? Yeah, it probably does. Which is exactly what Iman has done. So Iman launched Monetize around early 2025 and then launched a 2.0 version, which was packaged as a make money online challenge called Monetize Mania for 90 days. So Monetize is all about helping beginners create and sell digital products. You don't need to show your face and have a big following. You don't need tech skills. All you need to do is copy the system that Iman Gadzhi has and provides in Monetize, and you will make your first $1,000 online. That is what is positioned as. It's buttoned into one membership on WOP, which is $2,000 USD, one-time payment for all lifetime access. So for me, it was $3,000 Australian. It was last reported by WOP themselves that Monetize generated about $10 million in profit, not gross sales, so not like revenue. This means after costs. And because like it's a digital product, there's not much cost because there's no inventory and stuff. So pretty good profit margins, you could say. And the data here with the 10 mil and the 6K plus members was before Monetize 2.0. This is the data from when Monetize first launched and then the numbers from that. So now being Monetize 2.0, the one we're going to go through, I could only imagine the numbers. So Iman Gadzhi's Monetize falls here into the one-off high mid-ticket digital product, which is $2,000. So it fits within here, which is like the main offer, the kind of the money maker. And then obviously below that is like the low ticket subscription stuff, or it could be like a one-off digital product, which would be his like digital launch pad, which I have another video on. And then his maximized revenue is actually his upsell stuff, which is helping like high-end businesses like agencies or businesses doing millions plus to help them scale further with digital products. Okay, so let's dive first into the awareness, the traffic. Obviously, with Iman having a massive personal brand, he leverages his Instagram stories because stories is like the thing that I personally go through first when I go into Instagram, is go through people's stories. I'll probably go through people's stories a lot more than I go through their feed. But with stories, it's just easy to go through everyone's stuff. So Iman leverages that. So you can see here, he has posts about this welcome to the Make Money Online Challenge 2.0. He's hosting the challenge, telling his audience that, hey, I have this thing, join it and let's actually go through what this thing is together. So you can see here like these buttons where it says like claim your spot now. So when you press this, it'll take you to this YouTube video, which is basically Iman Gadzhi positioning the opportunity. It's basically getting people in the mind of, okay, what is this opportunity and what is it about? So you can see the title is called "This Will Create More Millionaires Than Bitcoin." That's a big headline. That is the positioning. Because when you associate and compare your thing to something that's more massively adopted and more, let's just say, a higher investment than compared to the thing that you're offering, it just makes your thing a lot easier to digest and easier to commit to. A similar analogy to this is anytime you're selling some type of digital product or you have like an information business, like a course, program, whatever, you should always compare and position your thing as the alternative to education. So an example is you have educational universities and then you have your program. Let's just say, for example, you have a program teaching people how to make better content. What you should do is say that, hey, educational university is like 60K to 100K plus. You spend years into this university to get a degree, to then go find a job, which won't even make you anywhere near 100K per year. But instead, if you buy my program, you'll learn how to make content that generates millions of dollars for you. And there's already people that's making 100K plus per month and millions per year. Basically, point being is just positioning your thing as a better alternative to the more mass adopted thing. And that is what Iman has done here, comparing his opportunity to a better solution than Bitcoin. Going into his ads, so Iman Gadzhi did ads based on a few creative types, which is about the opportunity, the webinar itself, and then the offer, which was monetized. And then he had retargeting, which was addressing, if you don't join now, you're going to miss out on this, basically increasing FOMO. So just addressing common questions that people might have, the done for you systems. Basically positioning like, hey, all you need to do is copy this thing. You don't need to show your face. You don't need big tech skills. You just copy the system that I have created for you and you'll be all good. So becoming aware through Iman Gadzhi's Instagram and then getting a bunch of ads, watching his opportunity YouTube video where he talks about the opportunity, you'll then get funneled into his landing page, which is the webinar landing page, where is basically what the goal is for Iman is just to increase FOMO. Is that, hey, if you don't join this live webinar, you're going to miss out on all this information, the opportunity to win all these prizes and compete. If you don't join, you're going to miss out on all this stuff. So you can see here is like, with this event, you get this. Without the event, get this. And this webinar had about 50,000 plus registers through Iman Gadzhi's email list, through the YouTube teasers like this. So this was obviously one of the big reasons why people opted in through this video here. You can see a lot of views, so it makes sense a lot of them actually converted. So normally with online courses, the conversion for free webinars to the paid solutions is normally about 1 to 5% based on like the industry benchmarks, like from Emma Portfield or Russell Brunson, who most people know who Russell is. For the modern day high-end gurus like Iman with massive personal brands who are super relevant now, I could probably imagine 5 to 10%, probably even more. I'd probably say for Monetize 2.0, the conversions from the webinar to actually people buying, on the low end, let's just say 1% out of this 50,000, that's 500 sales at 2,000 each, that's 1 million in revenue. Mid-range, 3 to 5%, which is 1.5 to 2.5, which is about 3.5 million. Then the high end, which is about 10% of 50,000 people, that's about 50,000 sales, which is about 10 million gross revenue. Okay, so once you're actually aware of what this is, you kind of understood the opportunity that Iman presented, then you go into his landing page funnel, which then you opt in. This is where Iman leverages email. This is where he leverages WhatsApp. This is what I call the nurture sequences. But basically, you nurture the people that opted in by giving them so much value, by continuously reminding them of the opportunity and then increasing FOMO by sharing previous wins of other people that have been through this program. That's why it's 2.0, because there has been other people in the first launch that obviously had success. So the whole point of this is to get the person that opted in to get ready for the webinar, to get them motivated to join the webinar by showing a bunch of testimonials of the first launch, by giving a bunch of value, by basically just reminding the person of the value and the opportunity that is presented, and that this webinar will help them to understand how to capitalize on it. So you might be wondering, why WhatsApp? Why not just use email waitlist? Why not just put people in a community? And as simple as it is, it's because everyone's on WhatsApp. Everyone has WhatsApp. It's just like dialed into the phone. It's like automatically there if you have an iPhone. And notifications are super easy to pop up. And it's very easy to send reminders and videos, stuff like this. So what Iman does with his WhatsApp, he'll send a bunch of video reminders, he'll send voice notes and text, basically just getting the person constantly reminded that, hey, we have this challenge, this webinar, make sure you join to ensure that you get all the information that you need. And obviously the traditional way is through email. So you can see here, Iman Gadzhi constantly sends a bunch of emails daily, testimonials, so FOMOs, reminders, continuously sharing success. So once you obviously go through the nurture sequences, then comes the day of the actual webinar itself. So when you educate on a topic and associate your paid solutions as the thing to get extra results, it just increases the likelihood of buying. And Somoza did the same thing with his upsells, with the 12 playbooks, with his AI solutions, with the donating a bunch of books to people that so business owners can use as lead magnets. People can do whatever they want with it. So what was the actual structure of the webinar day? So day one was just about the opportunity. Day two was the hands-on actually capitalizing on the opportunity, creating digital products. And then this is where actually Iman pitches monetize. Day three is all about like selling and making money. And then there was bonuses days that was announced where one of the days he bought an expert that sold like 300 million plus for digital products, and then a different option. So what Iman has done was what I like to call the plot twist special event. But basically this was all about, if you don't want to sell digital products, you can become the operator and help people sell digital products. It's the same thing that he did with the webinar, was organic. So you can see here is that, did you know you don't even need to have your own digital products to make money with digital products? Again, ads, the same goal still applies, which is just getting people to buy the program. But instead of having one type of solution, there's another solution. So another alternative, if people don't want to sell digital products, they can become the operator. So this is what it is here. It's called Growth Operator. There's video courses and all this stuff about how to actually be an operator and help other people sell digital products. So here's the actual program. So here's the VSL where it's just basically, again, selling you on the opportunity, showing proof and results of other people that had success, obviously through the first launch of Monetize. FOMO, again, explaining the how. So like this is the how, the step-by-step process, value stack with a bunch of software, community, human desire, competition. So you can win all these prizes. So that was like a very big angle that Iman capitalized on, which is you'll win prizes. If you do well in this 90-day contest, you can win up to $250,000 in prizes, cars, watches, masterminds, etc. Remove objections by basically addressing common questions. Again, more social proof, who this is for, so targeting your audience. And then the value stack here, so real life subscriptions included in the offer. So it's not just video-based videos, it is software, community, events, competitions, is anything that you can think of that makes a good digital product. He has this guarantee where it's like, if you don't make money through Monetize, we'll do whatever we can to make sure you do by having calls with you from Iman's team. Obviously, Iman has a big team and infrastructure, so he's able to allocate certain people to help people to buy the program and are struggling and to jump on calls with them. You can still do that yourself. So like if you're the creator of like a digital product, a course, and let's say someone's struggling, you can guarantee that you'll do whatever you can by jumping on a bunch of calls with them to make sure that they have success, by strategizing and executing with them to make sure that they have success. You don't need 100 people in your team to do this. You can do it yourself by just putting the extra time and effort to make sure the person that buys the thing succeeds. Okay, the buying process, the good stuff. So when you actually go through the core offer, you click the buttons, you fill out your stuff, blah, blah, blah. I want us to see what the cart abandonment sequences look like. Meaning, what is the process of when I go through the checkout, but actually I don't complete the purchase. So what's good is you have to put in your details before actually going into the checkout. So this makes sure that Iman and his team gets the information in case you don't check out, which is why I didn't do straight away on purpose. So when you don't check out, I literally got a message and an email straight away from one of their team members, Jonathan, saying, hey, blah, 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 just make sure that you didn't have any issues with checkout. Here's your checkout. You can just press this button and it will take you back into the checkout. An email follow-up, which was about, hey, this is what's waiting for you, FOMO. Make sure that you finish your purchase. So that's why it's really important to have tracking and data pixels on your landing pages and having some follow-up sequences, because not everyone's going to convert straight away. So once you actually buy, you actually get opted into this video, which is what I like to call the prepare yourself video. Basically what this is, so its position here is like, there's a bar where saying your account's been set up. And as the video is going along, the bar obviously progresses. And when the video ends, all of a sudden your account is ready to go. Coincidence, isn't it? Basically, what this is Iman Gadzhi congratulating you on taking your first step, and then basically making sure that you do the right things necessary. And then Iman Gadzhi throws in a sneaky upsell. He goes, if you want to capitalize and maximize this opportunity and fast track your way to success, you should buy this thing called Monetize Pro, which is a dedicated coaching version of the program for another $2,000. Damn. So you can see he has like a flash gold button, add Monetize Pro, or like a very faded, you can barely see it. No, I'd like to decline this one in a lifetime opportunity to be personally mentored by Iman. I pressed that one. But I think this is really, really good for people that are watching this to just understand that the best time to throw an upsell is when someone has bought. When someone has already taken out the card and they bought something, they are more likely to buy again because their card's already out and they're already in the buying mind. There's a high increase of likelihood that I would upsell into his more premium solution because I have already bought something. Obviously I didn't, because like I didn't really want to buy this to actually use it. I didn't really need it, but I bought it for these videos. But for people, let's say his actual ICP, so beginner people that want to sell digital products and they don't want to show their face, etc. His core audience, his core target audience. Imagine telling them in this video, like, hey, you know, you can get one-on-one support with me and my team. We'll personally help you to fast track to success. I could imagine beginner aspiring entrepreneurs trying to sell stuff online. They'll love this. And then there's a whole onboarding process. So what Iman has really done well is make sure that the onboarding experience is good. So here he will tell you, you get like a welcome video, and then basically there's a bunch of videos where he'll just take you through the whole process of what you need to do to set up, which is really, really good. Highly recommend whatever that you offer, program, course, whatever, is you have some type of onboarding sequences. Welcome email like this to help you get set up, or videos like what Iman has done here. He has done both. You ultimately want to do the same thing for the people that buy your digital product by making the experience super, super welcoming and feels like a very custom experience, and making sure that everyone's set up correctly when they join. Okay, so this is the student experience, which increases retention, which also leads to case studies, referrals, and testimonials. So like I said, the onboarding experience is some gamification. WOP has like the spin the wheel thing where you can win some stuff. So far, I haven't won anything, but it just makes it more fun. But what Iman has done so well is that he basically continuously provided fresh content, new courses, resources, software, all these new things constantly, which just increases the dopamine of gaining fresh stuff, which increases retention and getting people not wanting to miss out because there's constantly new stuff getting put out. I was honestly struggling to keep up with all the new content that was being put out. And you might be thinking, well, I'm not Iman Gadzhi. I don't have the resources team to provide all this new stuff to the people that buy. I can only provide what it is, the thing that people bought it for, which was like just one video course and then maybe community access. I can't provide ongoing stuff to do what Iman does. But truthfully, you can. At the end of the day, if you want to grow your info business, your courses, your programs, you want to increase the student experience so they can go out of the way to refer people, so they can talk about your thing, to bring more people in through word of mouth. That then will grow your digital products in your info business even more, because you're actually getting organic word of mouth from people that have actually bought the thing themselves. So what you can do is provide AI prompts, get ChatGPT to build it out for you. Provide free resources, docs, templates, ebooks. You can use stuff like Canva, Gamma to create PDFs. You can literally use AI to build this stuff for you. You can provide more video courses, breakdowns, Notion systems, whatever, anything that you can think of where you can just continuously pump out new content, which doesn't have to be as good as the previous stuff. As long as it's new, then that is one of the best ways to increase retention and getting people to have a good experience. So you can see here Iman Gadzhi is like sending emails and announcements. Surprises coming soon. This is the new stuff that you're going to get. Here it is. Here's some more new stuff. So something's coming next week again, which just was about how to do ads, blah, blah, blah. And it's honestly just providing new stuff to people, even though they may not necessarily need it. But the point being is just you're continuously providing more stuff to people that just increases the student experience or the customer experience. Then obviously the competition. This was probably one of the biggest angles that Iman Gadzhi went with, which is if you join this thing, you compete in a 90-day challenge with the opportunity to win a bunch of prizes. So let's say if you're a fitness creator and you're selling like this fitness program, make sure that the people that buy your stuff, there is a competition, a fitness challenge, whatever it is. 30 days, whoever gets the most shredded wins X prize. I don't know. Whatever is relevant to your niche and your offering, have some type of challenge, competition to make it more of like a gamification experience, because people like the idea of competing with others to win a prize. That is what Iman Gadzhi has done really, really well. Then obviously you want to make people feel seen and heard. So actually announcing winners, actually noticing people so you can see here recognition in the community. So shouting people out, actually having people to post their financial wins, product wins, their like personal wins, content, etc. Where people can post stuff saying, hey, like, you know, I just made $1,000. I just created my first digital product, whatever. So you just want to have this ecosystem of a very positive environment where people are sharing wins and helping people become better. That is the sense of belonging aspect. Obviously, coaching calls and support. This is what I like to call the safety reinforcement, where you're basically just making sure that, hey, you have all the support that you need by having direct access and coaching with experts themselves. They can ask any type of questions that you need to help you. And then the software tools. So video courses can only take you so far, but actually having some type of tools to help people to actually take action and implement the things that they're learning, that is the best way to help someone succeed. And then order video courses about the certain topics that people are interested in learning. So you might be thinking, okay, so it makes sense. Iman Gadzhi used his personal brand to get a bunch of traffic into his webinar, which then he provided a bunch of value to then getting people to convert into his monetized program, providing a good student experience so people can talk about it more to bring in more people into the program. But what Iman has done really, really well is maximizing the opportunity. So Iman Gadzhi had a bunch of different upsells where one was becoming a VIP member. One was from Jason, which was one of the experts that actually attended one of the webinars, which is the guy that sold 300 million plus. Basically, this is just maximizing the potential revenue from everyone that has already bought by giving them another path to fast track success. So the same thing where he'll send emails, basically increasing FOMO by sharing wins and basically saying, hey, you can get direct access to me, you get access to all this stuff, etc. And this was the VIP ticket for the webinar. So if you wanted like to just go through the normal free ticket, you can. But if you actually want to fast track success, you can get this VIP ticket. So this is what Iman Gadzhi did for the webinar launch, getting an entry upsell and then having this monetized pro upsell. So he would have this 2,000 offering for monetized, but then he'll have upsells which can turn this $2,000 to $4,000 plus. So essentially that is just what you want to do. You want to have ways where people can give you more money by providing different types of value and just making sure that you position your solutions as the thing that's going to help the person fast track success. So to sum up, everyone, Iman Gadzhi uses his personal brand to drive a bunch of traffic, to get people to opt in, to then nurture them with a bunch of value and FOMO sequences, provide the value through webinar, getting them to then go onto the core offering where people will buy and convert, having a bunch of upsell sequences. Once people join, provide a good student experience where people would then start talking about this thing, start referring people, which builds more testimonials and case studies, and then having a bunch of upsells within it to maximize revenue. But you'll notice here that monetize is more than just one thing, because let's be honest, one video course, PDFs can only take you so far. The most successful and profitable creators like Iman Gadzhi don't just sell templates, tools, or one thing. They combine multiple digital offerings, digital products, and convert it into an ecosystem. A course can teach members theory, but pairing it with online coaching, community access, templates, tools can make it a real practical, real learning environment. And it's important to note that Iman didn't create a new industry that was completely cold. He capitalized on the market demand and desires of people. It's just the paying poor to the riches, to the make money online, easy to do. You don't need following or a bunch of tech skills. All you need to do is copy these systems. What Iman Gadzhi did was just capitalize on the demand that people wanted and providing an offer, a solution to solve those problems and help people succeed. So that was Iman Gadzhi's Monetize 2.0, his information product, which has done 10 million plus, arguably more now with this 2.0 launch. This is what I invested $3,000 of my money into to break down this in detail for you guys. I hope it made sense. I hope you guys can take some practical tips and information where you can implement it into your own, which I definitely think you can. Obviously, Iman has done this on a much higher scale because he has a team and resources and money. But ultimately, you can tap into each and every single one with the traffic by posting organically, running ads, having multiple different funnels, having ways to nurture people with emails, having a way to follow up with people if they don't check out instantly. You can do a pre-launch webinar. You can have upsell opportunities where you can provide specialized support. And most definitely, you can provide a good customer experience and constantly giving people new things to learn and improve and making sure that they have success to increase referrals and testimonials. Iman hasn't done anything complex or fancy. He has just mastered the simple basics to its core. I like to look at Iman Gadzhi like the Ronaldo of info products. He's just a master of the basics. He's basically known as mastering the fundamentals and just doing it all super, super well. Iman's the same. He's just mastered everything and maximized every single component that makes up a good digital product, that then leads to more success because he's just doing the basic things right. So if you found Iman Gadzhi's monetized breakdown interesting, you'll most definitely be interested in Digital Launchpad, which is Iman Gadzhi's low digital product, his low ticket subscription model, which is Digital Launchpad. This is where I break down how Iman Gadzhi made $8.9 million by making people addicted to his ecosystem. So if you like monetize, you'll definitely love this one. Check it out in the link below. But other than that, hope you enjoyed this. And as always, love from Beck, love from me, and take care. Peace.